Have you ever felt like most investing apps are either way too basic or way too complicated? Most apps either treat you like a complete beginner or just assume that you've already been trading for a while. If you're somebody new or have a little bit of experience investing, M1 Finance might be the best solution for you. Right? It's not overwhelming, but it's also not super complicated, making you feel like you need a pro day trader to be successful. Well, M1 Finance might just be the platform for you. It's not just another trading app, and you're not staring at charts all day trying to time the market. Instead, M1 Finance is quietly designed to build your wealth, but in the background. Let me explain. It lets you automate your entire profile and lets you choose what you actually want to invest in. It also lets you borrow against your investments if you have to, and even manage your spending all in one place. But yeah, I know what you're thinking. With so many investing apps out there, why is M1 Finance the app worth using? I'm Alex, and in this video, I'm breaking down exactly how M1 Finance works, who it's best for, what it does well, what it's missing, and whether it's a good investing platform for you. So let's get into it. M1 Finance is also an investing app that helps you manage your money. You can choose exactly what stocks or ETFs that you want to invest in and design your portfolio. It lets you automatically add money on your schedule so that you can invest without thinking about it. And if you have enough money in your account, you can even borrow cash without selling any investments. I think it's a great option for people who want to take more control than just with Acorns, or you're kind of overwhelmed by the fast-pacedness of Robinhood. It's funny, they actually call themselves the Finance Super App, and to be honest, they're not that far off. You can literally invest, borrow, spend, and save all in one single place. So let me explain how it actually works. The main feature of M1 Finance is a feature called pies. And to simplify it for you guys, a pie is just a way to actually show your investment portfolio, but in a visual example. I like to think of it as pizza, but each slice of pizza is a different investment. One slice might be Tesla, another slice might be Apple, and another slice might be an ETF, which is just a bundle of stocks if you guys didn't know. And you could even have a slice of another pie that's just a combination of smaller investments. The cool part about it is that you can actually decide how big each slice is going to be. So you could have 20% Tesla, 20% Apple, and 20% in an S&P 500 ETF. Then you set up your bank account and you set up automatic transfers every single week or every single month, depending on what you want. Every time you add this money, M1 Finance will take that money and split it depending on how you split your pie. So if your pie says 40% Tesla, that's basically how it's going to invest it. But keep in mind that over time, the value of your investments will change. Let's say that Tesla grows a lot and becomes a bigger part of your pie than you originally planned. M1 notices that and they automatically put more money into different areas to kind of even it out. This really helps keep your plan balanced, and this is called dynamic rebalancing. You never have to worry about making trades yourself or wondering what to invest in. M1 literally does all that for you in the background. M1 Finance also gives you access to thousands of other stocks and ETFs on the US markets. You can build one of your own pies from scratch, or you can use one of M1's expert pies. And these are designed by specific goals like retirement, income, or just socially responsible investing. So here's a quick breakdown of what you can actually invest in: individual stocks, ETFs, and pre-built expert pies. Just to be totally transparent with you guys, you aren't going to find crypto, mutual funds, or options trading in here. M1 is really focused on long-term investing rather than short-term. So this makes it really ideal for those people who want to build a portfolio and stick to it, but not for those people who are looking to day trade or who are looking to get into crypto. The biggest pros about M1 is that you can set up automatic deposits and just forget about it. Whether it's $10 a week or $500 a month, your money gets invested fully based on your pie and how you set it up. And yes, this all happens automatically, so you don't have to think about it. It also reinvests your dividends automatically, so whenever you earn dividends from your stocks or ETFs, it isn't just sitting there. M1 Finance automatically reinvests it for you, so your money continues to grow. And this is a really good habit to build if you're somebody who's just a casual investor looking to get into more long-term investing. And this kind of automation really helps those people who are just casual savers and turns them into long-term investors. M1 isn't just about investing. They offer a checking account called M1 Spend. It's cool because you get access to a debit card, mobile banking, and even direct deposit. It's built like any standard checking account, but it's actually built into your dashboard. If you upgrade to M1 Plus, which costs $3 a month or $36 a year, you unlock some extra features that can help you make more from your money even when you're not actively investing. So really quick, let me break down exactly what you get. You get 1% cash back on debit card purchases. This means that every time you use your M1 debit card, you're getting just a little bit of money back. So let's say you spend $500 in a month, you get $5 back without having to do anything. And most debit cards don't even give any cash back at all. So this is a cool way to kind of turn your everyday spending into something that's actively bringing you in passive income. You earn 4.5% APY on your checking account balance. And this is huge because most traditional banks offer less than 0.1% APY, which basically means that your cash is just sitting in the account and it's not doing anything. With M1 Plus, your uninvested money can grow to 4.5% interest, which helps your money keep up with inflation and puts your idle money to work. 3 is that you get access to smart transfers between your spend and investment accounts. This feature helps automate your money flow. You can set a rule like if my checking account goes above $1,000, set the rest of it to investments. Or even the opposite, so if you're running low on cash, you can pull some money from your investments. It helps keep your finances organized so you're not having to manage it every single day. Number 4 is that you get access to the morning trading window. Normally, M1 processes trades one time a day in the morning, but with Plus, you get the extra trading window in the afternoon, which gives you more flexibility. So if the market moves or if you want to make changes later in the day, you don't have to wait until tomorrow. It's a really neat way to keep all your money in one place. The cashback and interest can actually make up for the cost of M1 Plus if you use it regularly. All right, so let's talk about M1 Borrow. This is one of their more unique features. Once your portfolio hits over $2,000 in investments, you can borrow up to 40% of your portfolio's value with M1 Borrow. It's like a personal line of credit by using your investments as collateral. The interest rate is really low, especially if you have M1 Plus. It's currently around 7.75% for regular users and only 6.75% for M1 users. You can use that money for anything like to pay off debt, to fund a project, or even to invest more. The best part about it is there are no credit checks and you can actually just pay it back on your schedule. All right, so really quick, if you guys want to sign up for M1 Finance, I'll leave a link in the description. And if you guys use it, it actually does help out the channel, so it would mean a lot. But let me give you guys a quick walkthrough of what it looks like to actually sign up for M1 Finance. So you're going to go ahead and go to this page. If you want to take a look, I would definitely say scroll around here and just do your due diligence. It breaks down pretty much everything that M1 offers. You can go ahead and look at their learn section, which is their frequently asked questions. You can look at their knowledge bank. So I really like this knowledge bank because it really just gives you more insight on being a smart investor and where you actually put your money. I like to read some of these sometimes. There's different sections like M1, earn, invest, spend. You can go ahead and go to borrow right here. And this will just break down a little bit more detail of what I talked about to you guys earlier about M1 borrowing, where if you have over $2,000 in your account, then they'll let you borrow 40% of your investment account. But yeah, it pretty much just breaks it down for you guys. Here are the rates. As you guys can see here, it really breaks down the rates. So I mentioned that it was a lower interest rate to use M1. As you can see, Fidelity, Schwab, and E-Trade, they're all charging around 11% relatively. And M1 is only charging 6.4%, which is a really good deal. That's like almost half basically. And on this first page, you'll see earn. So you'll be taking this page right here. With M1 high yield cash account, you get 4%. So if you just go down to right here, if you put in how much you actually want to deposit into your account, it'll show you how much you will actually make with the 4% APY, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, let me show you guys how to actually sign up. So right here, you'll press get started in the corner, and then you'll just put in your email and a password, and then it'll take you to this page where it says open account. So we'll send you a confirmation code. You're going to go ahead and put in your number, and they're going to go ahead and give you a code so that you can go to the next steps. Let me go ahead and put in mine. And before you verify with your text or your number, they're going to have you verify actually with your email. So make sure that you do that before you get the text to your number. Cool. So I just verified my email, and just a couple seconds later, they literally sent me a text with the number, which I'm going to go ahead and put in right here. All right. After this, you're going to go ahead and put in your legal first name, your last name, your address, just all basic information. For this, I'm going to go ahead and put test just for the example's sake. Let's go ahead and look up like a local McDonald's. So after that, the next thing it's going to ask you is how much you make before taxes each year. Let's just put something super reasonable right here. And then it's going to ask you a question right here. How much do you have in cash and investments? So let's just say we have this much. And then it's going to go ahead and ask you to put in your social security number. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the simple breakdown of signing up. It's just like any other investment app where it's going to go ahead and ask you just a couple questions before you sign up. After that, it's going to go ahead and take you to a different section where you set up your pie. So it's going to be your first pie. You're going to choose 3 different things that you actually want to invest in. So right here, it would say the Vanguard stock, and then it would say Tesla, and then it would say something like Apple. So you can go ahead and pick what are the 3 investments that you want a part of your pie, and that'll be kind of helping you walk through how to set up an actual pie inside M1 Finance. But yeah, it's pretty much the sign up process. If it's something you guys are interested, I went ahead and I left our link for the channel in the description. And like I said earlier, if you do use it, it does help us out. So that would mean a lot. All right, to break it down, M1 Finance has a pretty simple pricing structure. The core platform itself is free. You can invest, create your pies, make contributions, and reinvest your dividends without having to pay any commissions or any other fees. You can invest, build pies, automate contributions, reinvest commissions, all without having to pay any account management fees. But like I said earlier, M1 Plus is the paid version, the upgraded version where you actually have to pay. So let me break down the pricing structure for you guys based off of the M1 site. Beginning May 5th, 2024, clients without an active M1 personal loan are clients with M1 assets that do not reach a minimum value of $10,000 at least once a day during each billing cycle incur a monthly platform fee of $3. So it's only free to use if you have $10,000 or more inside of your account. But if not, then it's going to be a $3 platform fee. So I just wanted to be super transparent with you guys as far as pricing goes. Yeah, so this is basically everything that is included in the 10K. If you have $10,000 or more with M1 assets at least once a day during each billing cycle or an active personal loan, the monthly platform fee does not apply to you. Here are some other fees. What is the IRA fee? Beginning September 1st, 2024, clients with an IRA who are not exempt are already charged the platform fee will incur a monthly $3 IRA fee. So if you're not charged the $3 fee over here, you'll be charged it over here. The IRA fee will be waived if you have more than $10,000 in assets on M1 and have an active personal loan or already pay a $3 platform fee. So if you're already paying $3 over here, you're not going to get charged an extra $3. But if you have more than $10,000, you'll be good. So each IRA fee billing cycle lasts 30 days. If you meet the criteria listed above, at least 1 day during each cycle, the IRA fee will be waived. If you're already paying the platform fee, the IRA fee will be waived. As a reminder, we implemented a $3 platform fee earlier this year that did not apply to clients who only have an IRA. So obviously some questions you guys are going to have is what happens if my M1 assets drop below $10,000? You will not be charged the platform fee due to your M1 assets temporarily dropping below $10,000. Meeting the $10,000 asset threshold, so at least 1 day during each billing cycle will ensure the platform fee is waived. So yeah, that's just me being super transparent with you guys as far as pricing goes. But yeah, if you guys want to go ahead and learn more, go ahead and research some more about some articles, do a little bit of research of your own before you actually decide to use the platform. But yeah, I hope that helped you guys, and I hope that helped you understand the pricing structure just a little bit more. But yeah, like I said earlier, M1 Plus is the upgraded version, and it's actually the paid tier that you do have to pay for. Other than that, it's completely free to use if you have $10,000 inside your M1 account. If not, you'll go ahead and be charged a $3 fee. And this is just like a kind of like platform fee. So you'll be charged $3 a month if you have less than $10,000 inside of your account. But if you're serious about using M1 for your banking and investing, but I would say the M1 Plus fee can actually be worth it with the rewards and interest that you earn with M1 Plus. So really quick, let's talk about some of the pros of M1 Finance that actually matter to you. Number one is that you get full control, but everything basically runs on autopilot. With M1, you decide what you want to invest in. So what stocks, ETFs, R combinations, whatever it is, you decide what you want to invest in. M1's number one job is just to really keep your portfolio balanced and kind of just direct your money where it needs to go. The best part is that it just saves you time on having to manage it every single day. So you're in charge of what you own, but you don't have to micromanage it. Number two is that you can build your own custom portfolios, or you can use the expert ones. If you know what you already want to invest in, you can just create your own pie from scratch. But if you're not sure, M1 has those already made portfolios called the expert pies. They're pretty simple to use, and it just takes a couple clicks. This makes it super flexible whether you're somebody who's a beginner or somebody who's already experienced in investing. Number three is that there are no trading commissions or management fees fees. Using M1's investing features are completely free. You only have to pay when you want to use M1 Plus, but that's not a need. That's only if you want to do it. You won't pay to sell or buy investments, and there's no fee for your account to be managed. And that's great news if you're starting with a small amount of money and you don't want those fees to eat up your gains. Number 4 is that you can manage spending, investing, and borrowing all in one place. M1 isn't just about investing. It has a checking account and a borrowing future. That means that you can invest and spend with a debit card, and you can borrow against your portfolio. It helps keep your finances simple and connected. Number 5 is that you can invest in fractional shares. This means that you don't need hundreds of dollars to buy stocks like Google or Amazon. You can invest in any company ETF with as little as $1. That makes it easy to get started and be more diverse even with a smaller budget. So let's talk about some of the things that M1 Finance doesn't do so well so that you have the full picture before you get started with it. Number 1 is that trades don't happen instantly. M1 only processes trades once per day in the morning. But yeah, like I said, if you upgrade to M1 Plus, you can also access the afternoon trading window. But either way, that means that trades aren't real time. That means if the market moves a lot during the day, you won't be able to react instantly. That makes M1 Finance not the best choice if you're looking to day trade or if you're trying to capitalize on those fast changes. Number 2 is that you can't invest in everything. M1 doesn't offer mutual funds, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, or options trading. So if those are important to your investment strategy, then you're going to have to use another platform besides just M1. To be honest, this app is more designed for long-term stock and ETF investing. And it's not really for those people who want to trade every single asset. Number 3 is customer support is just a little bit limited. M1 is mostly what I like to call digital first platform. So if you ever need help, you won't find a live chat or 24/7 support. You can send an email or you can call someone during business hours, but you won't be able to get an instant response from somebody. So if you're somebody who likes to have quick personal help, especially when things go wrong, then it might be a little bit frustrating. Number 4 is no tax loss harvesting. Some other robo-advisors like Wealthfront or Betterment offer this feature called tax loss harvesting. That means that they automatically sell some investments at a loss to help offset your tax bill at the end of the year. M1 actually doesn't offer that, so if tax priority is something that's super important, this is something to keep in mind. So who is M1 Finance best for? M1 is best for long-term investors who want control over their portfolio but don't want to have to spend every single day managing it. If you're somebody who likes the idea of picking your stocks, picking your ETFs, setting up a plan, and it being on autopilot, then I would say M1 is perfect for that. It's also best if you want everything in one place. You can invest, borrow, save, and you have a checking all in one single place. But if you're somebody who wants to trade actively, trade crypto, or you want to talk to real people in real time, M1 Finance might not be the best option for you. But if you're somebody who wants to talk to human advisors, trade actively, or trade cryptocurrencies, then M1 Finance might not be the best suit for you. All right, so let's get into some frequently asked questions about M1 Finance. Can I trade on M1 Finance? M1 Finance is not built for day trading. Trades only happen once per day for the free users and twice per day for the M1 Plus users. Does M1 Finance offer retirement accounts? Yes, you can open a traditional Roth IRA and SEP IRA all on M1. Is there a minimum to get started? You need $100 to start investing in a regular brokerage account, and you need $500 to open an IRA. Can I buy fractional shares? Yes, M1 lets you invest in ETFs with as little as $1, which makes it super easy to stay diverse even with smaller amounts. Does M1 Finance have a debit card? Yes, with M1 Spend, you can get a debit card, and with M1 Plus, you can get 1% cash back. Can I borrow money from my account? Yes, if you have at least $2,000 in your portfolio, you can borrow up to 40% of your account. So how does M1 actually make money? M1 earns their money from M1 Plus memberships on interest lending and interest change fees on their debit card. M1 Finance is one of the most well-rounded investing platforms out there right now. It gives you full control to build your own portfolio and automate all of the boring stuff. It also adds a couple cool features like checking accounts and low interest borrowing. They're not trying to be flashy. They're not built for those hype trading trends. It's built for those people who actually want to build their wealth over time and make smart money moves consistently. If you want an app that's part investing platform, part digital bank, and all about long-term growth, then M1 Finance is definitely worth checking out. If you guys decide to sign up, I'll go ahead and drop our link down below. But other than that, it's been Alex, aka your money friend. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.